Here we go. Welcome to our Discover Arbonne online Zoom this evening. So thank you so much everybody for jumping on who is on here to listen. I'm very excited to tell you all. And this little short presentation is going to give you a whole overview about the business opportunity, about the products that are attached to this amazing opportunity, and also the income opportunity as well. And so just tell you a little bit about who I am, for those of you who are watching recorded, because we've got some live people on here who know who I am, and why I decided to start doing this, because it's something quite different to anything I'd ever done, and different to what most people have ever done before. So I started this business 4 years ago. I first heard about it from one of my really good friends, Hetty Gifford, who is also a professional dancer, because that is actually my background. I trained as a professional dancer, and I now teach dance. And I've lived in London for just over 10 years. And as a dancer, it's a pretty hard lifestyle, because when I moved to London, I came down to follow my dreams. But what I was doing was I was working lots of jobs just to pay the bills, and I was really feeling unfulfilled and not following my dreams. And it was going round in a vicious circle, because I was getting into a lot of debt. I was struggling to afford the cost of living in London. And my dreams were kind of getting further and further away, because I couldn't afford to go to class to keep up my fitness, etc., etc. And so I was in a place where I knew that there had to be more to life, because I'd worked a lot. I'd worked really hard for my whole life, and I'd trained hard as a dancer, but I felt kind of like I was being cheated. That when I was younger, I had a lot of big dreams as well as being a dancer. And as I kind of got older, the responsibilities of adult life were kind of setting in, and I'm sure lots of people can relate to that. And you had bills to pay and rent to pay and all that kind of thing. And my dreams were getting kind of pushed to the back of the shelf. And so I was looking for something else that was going to actually help me. And that's when my friend Hetty Gifford came along. And I was actually doing a show with my best friend, who's actually, her niece is on this Zoom tonight, which is brilliant, which is crazy, because when I first met Kim, my best friend at Ballyskill, Gabby, who's on this, was like a baby. And now she's a beautiful 22-year-old. So we were doing this show together, and basically I met Hetty, and she'd started this business, and she was telling me a little bit about it. And I was kind of really surprised, curious to see what it was all about, because it sounded interesting, but it was something that I'd never heard about before. And so anyway, I listened to the information that I'm going to share with you this evening, along with Fran, who's coming on a little minute. She's a little bit late. And I was blown away, because I saw it to be everything I'd ever dreamt of, but just wrapped in a completely different package. So it was a chance to work for myself. It was a chance to decide my worth and actually decide how much I wanted to earn, the chance to decide when I wanted to work and who I wanted to work with, and also the chance to help other people to live their dreams as well, which has actually now become one of the main reasons I love building this business, to help people fulfill their passion and follow their dreams. So I started, as I said, 4 years ago, and it's been the most incredible experience, because I now have a thriving organisation, which means that I only have to work part-time as a dance teacher, which I really enjoy. My kind of lifestyle has really improved. I get to go on holiday and pay my bills on time, things like that. And it's just an opportunity for anyone who is looking for more out of life, whether that's more time, more freedom, more money. Because I think a lot of people are in the situation where they might be either time poor or money poor. So they work really, really hard, and they're earning a great living, but they don't have the time to actually spend the money. Or in my case, really money poor, where they're working, but they're not earning enough money to live the life they want to live. And I'll just kind of say to everybody that's listening to really think about what your dreams are as we speak through this, because it might sound a bit kind of cheesy and a bit American, but as I said earlier, I'd kind of forgotten about my dream, but this business has allowed me to dream again, and so many more people. And so it does give you that. So I'd say just really kind of think about that. So without further ado, what is Arbonne? So Arbonne is a 36-year-old botanically based health and wellness company with an incredible range of pure, safe and beneficial products. So our founder, who is on the timeline down the bottom, Petamort, he founded this company 36 years ago, and he had a vision for a pure, safe and beneficial product that would also be attached to an extraordinary business opportunity that would allow ordinary people to live an extraordinary life. And that was his vision 36 years ago, when it wasn't really cool to be green. And that's one of the kind of things to note about our company, is that we are a green company. Green from the beginning, and back in the 70s, as I said, when it wasn't cool to be green. So we were in America up until 2006, when we launched into Canada. And then 2007, Australia and the UK. And that just means that we are an online business. So you can build your business in any of these countries over the internet, which is awesome. In 2009, Kay Napier came to work for us as our CEO, and she is the most fantastic, savvy businesswoman who has taken us into incredible globalization. In 2012, we launched the Arbonne Charitable Foundation, which is a foundation that helps young people and children who might have not been brought up in the best circumstances, or might have had troubled life so far. It helps them to build themselves back up, and it's really a lot about helping young people with self-esteem and self-confidence, and actually something that I am really passionate about, because I've seen the effect that it's had on some of the children that it's helped already. And I teach in children, I see the effect that lack of confidence and self-esteem can have on the rest of their life. And so I think it's just a fantastic thing to really shout about. And then in 2014, we launched to Poland. And then this year we're launching into Taiwan. So that is a little bit about our heritage. And I believe the wonderful Fran Brien has come on. So I'm just I think she's unmuted herself. Franny, are you there?
I am, sorry.
Awesome, no worries, my love.
I'm here now. Sorry, I'm late.
No worries. Do you want to do a wee introduction?
Yes, so I was just sharing this opportunity with another person that overran slightly, which is why I was late hopping on. So I'm Fran O'Brien, an independent consultant with Arbonne International. I was introduced, like everyone else is, to Arbonne through a friend or through somebody that they know. And at the time, I didn't know, although I knew that I wanted more from life, I didn't know how that was going to kind of materialise. And then in walks my friend and goes, boom, this is this. Like, have you ever thought about that before? And I was like, no, but yes, okay, I'll do it. And that's all how it kind of unfolded. I'm a bit kind of an exception to the rule with that, in that I didn't really think about it and I went with my gut. And I'm so glad that I did, because at the time I knew that I wanted to do something else in my life. But now it's showing up in a massive way as to how this business has changed my life. So I've made the big decision. Well, it pushed me initially to get back into the dancing, as Hannah's probably mentioned. I have a background in dance also, but I gave it up for a long time because I never believed I was good enough. And now, a year or so ago, I got back into it, into a whole different style of dancing. And now I'm at the step where I want to go professional. I'm almost at that level where I can do that. But I need to train more, and there's certain other things as well. But this business has given me the opportunity to do that, and is what pushed me to do it initially, and is something, I think as a little girl, I always thought that I wanted to perform or do something like that, but I never in my wildest dreams, and I think that I'd be able to achieve something like that. But this is what this business has given me, and it's what I can give other people, is being able to grab a hold of something that they've kind of longed for a long time, and seeing that the opportunity is there, and I'm showing you ways to how you can do that. It's because this is a business education, as well as kind of, we all say it as in so many different ways, that it's a personal development type business as well, which all sounds quite cheesy, but it's just, and I never really thought, it's not something that really crossed my mind when I first heard about the business, but now it's a massive part of this, and that's how you can grow to achieve what else you want to achieve outside of Arbonne. And that's why I'm really passionate about sharing what it's about, and why I overran a little bit on my last show, because I got really quite excited. And you probably tell that me and Hannah will both get really excited. So Hannah's mentioned who Arbonne are, what we do, and how our history, and briefly other things that are attached to us. But Arbonne is a product-based business, so our whole ethos is pure, safe, and beneficial. Now, our products are pure because we blend the best of science and nature. So our products are Swiss formulated. When you think of anything Swiss, you think of really high quality gear. You think of the chocolates, you think of the watches, everything along those lines. And normally those products are, affordability-wise, are out of reach for the common person because they just cost too much retail. With Arbonne, it's different, and we'll explain why as we go through this, but they are at an affordable price. And with botanical products, you think, oh great, this smells great, and it's all nice on my skin, but it doesn't actually do much. But then there's a whole other flip side of that, where something might be really chemically laden product, and it gives you those great results. But you think, hold on a minute, what is this doing to my health that's given me these results so quick? What is it that's in this? Should I be concerned about what this is doing to me? And you probably should be concerned. I'd say if you take anything away from this, is read your labels, because there's some certain products and byproducts that you really don't want to be putting on your skin. So we have the science behind the botanicals so that they actually work, so you know you're getting the best of both. There's nothing that's going to harm you, but you are going to get the results from it. So we're the best of science and nature. That's what I'm getting to, basically. So we're vegan certified, which is really difficult to come by, and kind of what's buzzing at the moment. People are really quite concerned about their health, and being vegan is it's a bit of, it almost seems like a craze, but it's not. People are really aware of their health, basically, and that means we're never tested on animals either, and we're hypoallergenic too. So we're safe because we're formulated without parabens, which are obviously studies have shown that that's linked to cancer now. We don't have any of that. This is what I mean by checking your products, the labels. We're formulated without gluten, no chemical dyes or fragrances, and no petrolatum, which is actually a product. It's sometimes can be called mineral oil. It's actually used as a bulk filler in a lot of high street products. It prolongs the life of the product, and basically it doesn't have any benefit to you. It doesn't really enhance the product at all. It's like I say, it's a filler, but what it will do is clog your pores, and it's like having a layer of cling film on, so nothing good can get in, and it's just creating that barrier that's actually really aging. As secondary to the sun, it's the most aging thing you can put on your skin. So again, you don't really want that on your skin, or the parabens. So check the old labels. We're formulated without any of those things, which I think is brilliant. And we're beneficial because our products, they show results, basically. We're so proud and so sure of the results people will get from these products that we actually share them with somebody, and we give a full-size set of products for somebody to try at home themselves for a couple of days, because we believe in them so much. There's obviously no obligation with any of that, but that's because we know the results we get from them. Obviously, both Hannah and I could sit here and say, well, it's got this in it, does that, and blah, 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 that's why it works. Nobody really cares until they put it on their skin and they feel how great their skin feels. Mine, because I have quite acne-prone skin, it was kind of like a bumpy ground with like potholes on my face. Like the textures changed, like the smoothness. I actually was taking the mickey out of my brother at a wedding recently. We're twins, and I don't actually have any lines on my forehead or around my eyes whereas he does. We're in different lines of work, which has a little bit of an effect, but the products work. Actually, the men's products, the men's RE9 anti-aging products, and the women's have clinically proven results, as you can see there, in 24 hours. The men's actually are formulated for men's skin, really helps with shaving rash, things like that. My husband James cannot live without that now. It's really great for kind of really testosterone-driven skin, because that's what it's built for. And we have the results as well. So we paid for the independent clinical studies. It's not something that's required by law, but because we believe in the product so much, we chose to do this and to stand by the results that they gave. And luckily, they were brilliant results. We knew that was going to happen. As you can see there, we came top against the other department store brands in the US and the other network marketing brands in the US as well. So those kind of results speak for themselves.
Amazing. Thank you, Franny. I love it. I love that you've come on and you're just like, bam, it's great. Tell it you're buzzing. I love it. So this is just explaining the rest of the products we have, so as well as the anti-aging. And I'll just say at this point that I was not a product person, so if you're sitting there thinking, well, this is a lot of information about products and I'm not really a big product person, that was me. But what I did see was the genius behind the business, and that was what really drew me in, because it's a consumable product. So it's something that everybody uses every single day without even thinking about it. So I was doing Arbonne before I was doing Arbonne because I was washing regularly and I was talking to people. And that is basically the crux of what we do. So I always ask people, like, it's like a rhetorical question, but just ask yourself, did you have a shower today? You know, and when I kind of sit with one-to-one with someone and say, like, did you have a shower? They're like, obviously. I'm like, okay, no, nothing like offensive meaning, you know. It's just so that you can see the kind of visual. So I say, like, imagine your bathroom and what you used this morning in the shower and when you got out of the shower. And so Hetty did this to me, and I just visualised my bathroom. I saw, well, I just washed my hair, so shampoo, conditioner, face wash, body scrub sometimes, got out, I moisturised, you know, put my makeup on, brush my teeth, deodorant. Guys obviously shave, people take nutrition. And so Hetty just made me see that before I'd even left the house, I'd used probably about 20 products. I think that kind of goes for most girls. And that the genius behind the business was that this, as I said, is a consumable product, that all the products that I was using in the bathroom before, I was going to Boots or Superdrug or wherever I was buying them from. I was buying poor quality products like Fran was just explaining, and I was making one CEO at the top really, really rich. And what we've done is just basically directed a spend that we were already spending in a shop to our Arbonne online store, and then we are the adverts. So we then, if people buy, they link to us and they get commission. And Fran's going to explain that a little bit more. But that really made sense to me because a consumable product is something that everybody needs every single day. And as I said, it's not a big buying decision. It's not like if I decide to buy a pair of shoes, that's quite a big buying decision. Whereas buying my face wash and my shampoo just makes sense. I want friends and I don't want to smell. So so we have something for everyone as well, from baby to anti-aging, from men and women, even if you use only a couple of products, or like me, if you use like hundreds. So we've got the skincare, the I9 Advanced Anti-Aging for men and women. We've also got ranges for really sensitive skin and for younger skin. It's actually one of my favourite ranges is for more sensitive skin. It's called FC5 and it just smells beautiful. It's full of fruits and vegetables. It's amazing. We also have an acne-prone treatment, which is incredible, and I've had brilliant testimonials from that, Fran. And we also have treatment-based products, which is, as you can see there, it's called Genius. It's basically like a chemical peel, but without the chemicals. So it takes away fine lines, wrinkles, age spots, sunspots, and is an absolute wonder product. And then we have nutrition, everything from protein shakes to immunity boosters for the winter to keep your immune system strong, to digestion for obviously helping your kind of bowels stay healthy. I don't know why I say random things like this sometimes. Forget that I'm like, you know, doing a business presentation. And the nutrition range is actually one of the biggest sellers because nutrition is one of the biggest segments within the health and wellness industry. And health and wellness, again, something to remember, is actually the next $1 trillion industry because people are living longer and they want to stay and feel and look younger. And so our nutrition products are all vegan, they're gluten, dairy and whey free, so they're much better for your digestion. And then you can really use them along with a really healthy diet to really improve your health. Then sun care, makeup, which is amazing and continually treats your skin. So it's a treatment-based makeup that actually works synergistically with the skincare and has been written about in Vogue and Grazia and many publications for free because they want to write about us. Then bath and body, hair care, baby care, and also a sports range, which is before, before, during, and post workout, and that's all botanically based as well. So that's just a whole kind of overview of the products. But as Fran said, we give them to people to try for themselves. But for this, just remember, like, everybody washes, and you'll be all good.
Thanks, Fran. I was just thinking of buying decisions there. I made a buying decision earlier to buy a pair of black sequin leggings. That tells you the kind of person I am. They're only £4. That's what swung it for me. I'd wanted them for ages though. I'm going off. I've seen them full price, and then they were anyway off on a tangent. So this is network marketing. So what is network marketing? It's something that I didn't realise until it was explained to me that we actually do this every day. So have you ever recommended a book? Have you ever recommended your hairdresser? Have you recommended a film? Yes, these things happen every single day. So my hairdresser, I've pointed that many people his way. He's not turned around to me and gone, oh, here you go, Fran. Here's like a little bit of commission for doing that. Thanks a lot. That doesn't happen in everyday life. But with network marketing, that's exactly how it works. You get paid off those recommendations that you're already giving out anyway. So with traditional retail, I didn't actually realise when I picked up a shampoo off the shelf before on the high street, I just picked it up. I was like, I need shampoo. I'll just go whatever's cheapest is basically what went through my head. That was half decent as well, but I thought was half decent anyway. So I didn't realise the stages that I actually went through to get to me. But obviously you can see there, I won't read that out because you can read the slide, but it goes through all those stages, and obviously those are all overheads, business overheads. So because of that, you're getting a poorer quality product for an inflated price. So the product is very little of it is going to do you much benefit, and you're paying more for it. Which, thinking about it now, it doesn't actually make any sense. Why am I doing that? With network marketing, it's different. It goes from the manufacturer to an independent consultant like me or Hannah, then straight to consumer. So that's why, as we kind of touched on before, the Arbonne products are ultra premium, which would normally be out of reach for an everyday person price wise. Because we're distributed through network marketing, that means because none of those overheads have to be paid for, it means they are actually at an affordable price for the majority of people. There's because Hannah's mentioned there's something for everyone, so there's something on the lower end of the scale, there's something treatment based which is going to cost you a bit more, but there's something for everyone there as well. It also means that we can work on development of the products and keep ourselves ahead of the game with it, because we're kind of 10 years ahead of our time with the technology, and that allows us to keep ourselves there. And it also means that the rest of the money gets shared out amongst the consultants who are giving the recommendations, who are sharing the products with people. So that's how it works within network marketing. And when I was told about it, I was like, oh, that's brilliant, but am I going to be knocking on doors in the rain with a catalogue? You know, I was like, that's not for me. That's not what I want to do, because that sounds too much work and a bit cringy, to be honest. So, but because the way that the internet and social media has revolutionised this industry, that's completely backward thinking. That's not how things work for network marketing, and that's more direct sales anyway. But so because this is all online based, if somebody, for example, decided they wanted to get a mascara, us ladies run out, we replace it before it even starts to dry up. They go on to my website. So as the consultant, you have your own website. They can log on there, register themselves, order the mascara, have it delivered direct to their door. Boom. Like, there's no, like, I don't have to touch the product. I don't have to touch the money. I don't touch like anything in the interim. I can help them order initially, but everyone buys stuff online these days. Once to be familiar with the website, they can do that themselves. And because people run out of these products, as Hannah mentions, everyone washes on a daily basis. People run out of their cosmetics, they run out of their nutrition, they run out of their personal care products. People are going to want to replace these, and from that you get the commission again and again. And it works the same with somebody's who's just in the business. They're also linked to you through your website, and you get a commission through that. But that's not something to go into detail, but that's another way of earning money through the business. So I realised through that, hold on a minute, this is all online. It means I can grow this business anywhere. So I've actually taken my business with me to Amsterdam. Hannah's taken it with her all across the world, recently to France, to the US. You don't actually have to have and to be anywhere specific to this business. As long as you have access to the internet, a phone, a tablet, you can open your mouth and wash. That's pretty much it. So, brilliant. That was me. I'm in. When I heard about that, I was like, oh, it's so flexible.
Oh my God, I love you, Fran. That's brilliant. It's so true. And it's actually been talked about as the business of the 21st century for those reasons that Fran just explained. It's online, it's social media, it's really coming of age because we are such a social kind of economy. Everybody, talks to each other. It's all about networking. People are looking for home-based businesses, which is what we've got. So this next slide kind of explains all of that in a little bit more detail as well. It's why Arbonne and why now? Because there are quite a lot of network marketing companies out there. So what makes Arbonne different, and also why right now? And I'll just say one of the big reasons is that Arbonne as a company is doubling every single 2 years. Every single 2 years? Every 2 years. Anyone could do this business. Hilarious. It's been a long day. Yeah, anyone can do this business. So yeah, Arbonne is doubling every 2 years. And so just take that in, because right now, most businesses that is nowhere near where they're at. They're either kind of going up 1 or 2% or they're flatlining. And the reason that is happening is, again, a few different reasons. Health and wellness being one of them. Health and wellness, as I touched on, is massive nowadays. People are looking younger, they're staying younger, they want to feel younger for longer. So it's a very different aging economy. So the baby boomers are actually the ones who are pushing the economy forward because there's so many of them, and they always have done. They made the housing boom happen, .com, technological boom, all of the big booms. And now they're turning 60. And so they want to look and feel and stay young. It's not like 60 when my grandparents were 60. They looked 60, but my mum is 58 and she's getting on the back of my stepdad's motorbike and she's got an apartment in Spain and she looks incredible. So that generation are pushing the kind of trends forward, which is why health and wellness is huge. And, you just have to look, if you're walking down a high street, of all the kind of health food shops popping up, and like Fran said, people are becoming a lot more aware of what they're eating. I've actually become a vegetarian in the last few months, and just lots of different things that people are becoming more aware of. So that's why health and wellness is huge. And why Arbonne really ticks, and why Arbonne is booming, is because it ticks the boxes for every single generation from a business and a product point of view. So just to quickly touch on every generation, the baby boomers love the products because it's anti-aging that works. So just spoken about that. They're looking for another income. So from a business point of view, they are retiring into a really economic downturn. Their pensions aren't what they thought and their savings aren't what they invested. And they want to live till they're 90, but they might not have the means to do so. So this is a great plan B. It's a great pension plan. And my mum is actually kind of always mentioning my mum, but she's one of my wonderful business partners. And she started this as her plan B to get her out of her high school job. She's been a high school teacher all her life, but she doesn't want to work till she's 70, which is the reality for most people at the moment. So this is her kind of get out of school plan. And then the Generation X, so the kind of 30 and above, the green revolution. So they are so conscious about what we're doing to the planet, and they were the first people to really think about that. And so, as well as being good for our bodies, Arbonne is a green company and we really care about the planet, and that was one of PETA's absolute missions, was to leave the planet in a better place than how we found it. So we are carbon neutral, we're responsibly sourced, we're responsibly sourced palm oil. We're actually part of the roundtable of sustainable palm oil, which is a body in Brazil, which basically is helping to stop the deforestation in Brazil and other parts of South America, which is killing off the orangutans. And actually, palm oil is in the majority of products that you buy. So a lot of healthcare, like everything that you might have used today, would probably have had some kind of palm oil in it, because it's really difficult to get something that's like that. So I know all this because my boyfriend is actually CEO of an environmental company. And when he found out that Arbonne was sustainably palm oil sourced, he couldn't believe it. We're 98% sustainably palm oil sourced, and he couldn't actually believe that, because he said he works with the biggest of companies that own a lot of brands, and he said nobody does that, and it's really expensive to do. And that actually made him then become a consultant as well, because he realised that if everybody used Arbonne, we could actually all make like a little dent on helping to save the planet, which just gives me such belief in this company even more. So this generation love the products for all of that. They're also having families, so they want safe products to put on their babies. And they also, from a business point of view, they want a home-based business. They don't necessarily want to go out to work and leave their children. And they're also got a lot of debt to pay back. And then the millennials, so the kind of 18 to early 30s, they love the products because our faces are everywhere. Like, we are the era of the selfie, social media, so you can't hide, so you want to look good. And I'm wearing all Arbonne makeup, by the way, so you can see that it's kind of proof is in the pudding. Like as Fran said, we are head to toe Arbonne. We're the biggest kind of products of the products. And so from a product point of view, they love the products. Then from a business point of view, this generation are retiring. Oh my gosh, this generation are coming out of uni into a really kind of scary job market, because there just aren't as many jobs as there were when the baby boomers came out, obviously 40 odd years ago. And so this generation are looking for something that they can do, and they've got a lifestyle choice around. And I really feel passionately about this for this generation, because I might be the top end of it. But when I found this and I was 27, and my friend Hetty said, I've got something that's a business in a box, that's a really low investment, a huge return, that I'm going to help you and hold your hand every step of the way. I was just like, that is literally what I've been looking for. The chance to, as I said earlier, work for myself and work with my friends and have a business degree basically as I work my business, which is what I've had. I've learned so much about business. And I just feel really passionate about that, about sharing that with this generation, because it is creating jobs, it is creating employment, it's creating, a chance for people to actually take their lives into their own hands, and also to help other people to do the same, which I just think is phenomenal. And then the digital generation, the ones coming through now, who will be so much more internet savvy than we can even imagine. We are an internet-based business, so when they turn 18 and can have their own Arbonne business, they will be able to do so much more, as I said, than we can even think about. So Arbonne basically sits on an intersection of mega trends that are all exploding right now. It's health and wellness, network marketing, the internet and social media. And that's why it's doubling every 2 years, and it suits every single person. So anyone can do it. And that was another reason I loved it, was because nobody was telling me, oh, you've got to have a degree in business, you've got to have this background, you've got to have this on your CV. I was a dancer who had no degree, I had no business background. I was just willing to learn, I was willing to be coached, and I was brave enough to do something different. So that was awesome, because a lot of people are held back by their CVs and experience and things like that. So I love that you decide how successful you want to be.
So you're probably thinking, that's all very well and good, but what is it that you do? We've got very excited about lots of aspects of this business, but what's the nitty gritty of it? It's basically stop, start, share. So when I started my business, what I did is I stopped buying my personal care products from the high street. Started buying the Arbonne products from myself at a discount, using them, enjoying them, getting to know the benefits and how they're affecting me. And then I share with other people the products and the business opportunity, see what's right for them, or it could be that they're not interested at all. But that's basically it. Stopped buying from the high street, started buying the products from myself, then shared both the products and the business with other people. So there is, you're making me laugh, Anne. So there's lots of different ways to build an Arbonne business. It really depends on the individual person, how they want to mix up the methods that are available. But the main way that I do this, and I know quite a lot of other consultants do it, is through a one-on-one approach, where we just sit down over coffee or over a glass of wine and share this same information just face-to-face. And then if somebody's interested in the products, wants to try them, as we mentioned before, we have a full-size bag of products which we can cater to whatever the person's skin type is or whatever they may be interested in, that they can try for a few days. And then we meet back up and have a chat afterwards to see whether they're interested in the products, interested in the business, or if it's a no thank you to all those things. But obviously, while they are trying the products, I don't have to wash somebody's face for them. They can do that themselves, thankfully. So whilst they're doing that, I can be off. Most of the time I'll be dancing or speaking to somebody else about Arbonne. But basically, that's how you can leverage your time in this business. If you've got several of these sample bags that are out with different people at once, they're working for you. So the people are washing for themselves or going to the gym and trying the nutrition for themselves. You don't have to do that for them. So that's brilliant. And then, like I say, you can have a chat and see what part of the business or the products might interest them. The second way is what we're doing right now, which is kind of a larger presentation, either over the internet or over Zoom, which is what's fantastic about this, is that I can be sat here in my pyjama bottoms. Hold on, you can't see that. There we go, pyjama bottoms. Presenting this business from the comfort of my own home, or there's larger local presentations in like hotel rooms in different cities across the UK where that happens as well. You can take people along, or you can invite people on to these kind of things as well, where slightly more experienced consultants share. There's another method which is kind of which I was a bit reluctant to try initially, but actually they're really quite fun. It's just because I thought they were a bit cheesy and American, but you can have pamper evenings where somebody hosts, they get a load of benefits, they get to enjoy the products with their friends, and then they can get different benefits on the night and gifts and stuff like that. So that's really quite an enjoyable way to share the business as well from a product point of view. So you can combine any of those methods to build your business. And what's brilliant as well is that you have complete support with your own website. You have all your own training materials online. So there's Arbonne University. There is there's online training. There's local training in most of the major cities in the UK now. There's the whole team aspect, and the person who introduces you to the business will hold your hand and support you. Like each of the people that have introduced us have done that. And what's brilliant is in our team especially, so the person who's invited you on is part of this team, of Team Clark. We're all kind of connected in some way to Hannah. But it's such a great environment because we have a Facebook group, we have a WhatsApp group, everyone's supporting each other. And this happens throughout Arbonne across the different countries that we're in, is that everyone's really supportive of one another. Whether or not you're earning money or connected to them, it doesn't matter. Everyone wants another person to do the best that they can. And I've never been in an environment like that, a work environment, where everyone's really out to help each other, regardless of what the benefit is to them, because everyone's so supportive. And that's why it's such a great environment to be around those kind of people. That's the key people you'll be getting involved with if you decide to go ahead and start your own business, which I think you're not in too bad a company, to be honest with of that. But no, on a more serious note, what you can gain from this personally, which is what you'll hear a lot of consultants bang on about all day, is how much you can gain from this personally. Like, as I mentioned before, this business has pushed me to do things that I never thought were even possible for me, or I only thought, oh, wouldn't it be great if I could eventually do that? It might happen, it might not. But the skills that you learn from doing this, leadership skills, how to lead yourself, how to organise yourself, how to share a business, how to build a business. So if you wanted to go into something else, business related, that you've always wanted to do, this is a great groundwork for that. And how you grow as a person and how you interact with other people in your life, this business will bring out the potential that's in you and have you run with it. So that's how I am now, on the cusp of becoming a professional dancer. I never thought I would do that. That's why I've got the sparkly leggings, so that's gonna work over to.
I love it. Oh, well done, Fran. It does though, and you don't have to be a dancer, by the way, to do this.
No, definitely not.
Just that we obviously kind of roll in circles. So there's lawyers, doctors, surgeons, CEOs, teachers, everybody from all different backgrounds.
Exactly.
It's like your confidence. Like, I think that's one of the biggest things, is the confidence you then build in yourself to be able to actually do what you want to do and follow your dreams, and to be able to help other people to do that, the same thing, because of the environment, the support, the training, the personal development is just priceless. So just very kind of briefly, just a little bit about how it builds. It starts with you. So you decide to start this if you want. I said 4 years ago, cool, yeah, I get it. I'm going to replace all my personal care with Arbonne, and I'm going to go start sharing the products and the opportunity with other people. And so that's what I did. I went out there and I spoke to people. Some said no, but some said yes. And so the people that said yes to either the products or the business, if they wanted to just buy products, I helped set them up online with their own ID so they can buy products from their online store whenever they like, and I don't have to be there. And then with the consultants, like Fran said, I helped set them up as a consultant online, again with their own store, but then I helped them to go out and do what I was doing and tell other people in their network to build a consumer network. And so that then builds and builds and builds, because people go and tell their networks, who tell their networks, who tell their networks. So I actually didn't know Fran before I started this business. It's a good example. I introduced my friend Sarah, who I worked with in London, and Sarah and Fran had grown up together. And so Sarah was the one that introduced Fran, and now we've become like the best friends, which is amazing. And so you develop a whole network of consumers who are all just washing and talking. And that's really the simplicity of it. And so what happens is you start to see a compound effect kick in and time leverage kick in. So I have 10 hours a week that, say, just for example, I have 10 hours a week that I build this business alongside everything else I do. I also have 10 business partners who do the same. So I actually have 110 hours. I'm only working 10 hours. And that is how all, great successful business people have worked their time in their business, is that they've not worked every hour God sends. They've just learned how to leverage their time. And that's how you can build a residual income. And that's why we get really excited about this business. Because from a few hours work and from helping other people to do the same, you can build a residual income that means you could go away on holiday for a month and still be earning the same income that you would be if you were here. Now, it is a product-driven business, so as Fran said, we're product-driven, so we are only paid when product moves through the business. We don't get paid when people sign up, and we're paid the most from the people who we introduce directly. So I'm paid the most from my direct business partners, and then I get a little bit less from their network, and then just a tiny bit from their network, and then it stops there until you get to the top of the company. So it just means that it's a really ethical and level playing field, that you get paid and you're rewarded on your efforts. So that just means that if you work harder than the person who introduces you, you can actually promote past them and earn more than they can, so literally, like, you decide how much you want to earn. And as I said, it's all to do with the product. So there's some people who do just want to be clients, and that's brilliant. And then there's some people who want to be a consultant and build a business like us. So you've got kind of two strains there. And then just a little bit about what you can earn, kind of to finish off. We're nearly there. So there's 4 levels of management. Everybody starts as an independent consultant. So every single person starts at the same place, and then you can build your way up, all to do with product volume. It's not to do with the area that you live in. It's just to do with product volume. So I have a business in London, but also I've got business in Scotland and York, and my mum's got a client in America. So you can literally decide where you want to build your business. So district manager is the first level. And I got to district manager in 2 months, and I was earning between £100 and £500 a month. And that was additional to everything that I was already earning. So that's a really key thing to remember, is that most people start this as a part-time business alongside a full-time job or whatever else they're doing full-time. So what would an extra like £300-400 look like to you dropping into your bank account? Because for me, that meant my rent. Like, I was able to stop that horrible kind of awkward call to my parents to ask them to borrow money again. But to some people, it might mean, a nice bag or a pair of shoes. Money means different things to different people. But in this day and age where most people's pay is not going up very much, £500 a month is £6,000 a year pay rise. So that's pretty awesome. And then area manager is the next level, and that's the level I'm at. And I took 18 months to get to that level. And I'll just say at this point, like, it's different times for different people. Like, literally, it's effort-based. And if you've got, a busy life and you don't have as much time to put into this, it might take a little bit longer. Or if you decide, I am going to make this work really quickly, then you can get there quicker. So it's completely up to the individual. So I was a bit below average. I took 18 months. It was all good. And I've earned anything between £500 to £1,700 a month as an area manager. So that has been pretty substantial for me, because it was the point where I was able to stop working the jobs that I really didn't want to do, that I was having to do to supplement my kind of passion. And I was able to actually start paying my rent on time and not worrying about where the bill money is going to come from and things like that. So that was absolutely incredible. And it's also meant that I've just had a little bit like of kind of a weight off my shoulders to not have to worry about that kind of thing, which is just brilliant. But again, for some people, it might mean school fees. It might mean, going on holiday a little bit extra. It might mean just doing, whatever that means to you. But what would an extra £1,000 look like dropping into your bank account every month? Because it's that, as I said, was pretty substantial for me, quite life-changing actually. And then also I can now will my business. So this just means that I have an asset that if anything were to happen to me, I can actually leave this to someone in my family. But eventually the plan is I want to have kids and grandkids. I don't have any at the moment, but I want to have a family, and this is going to be a legacy that I can leave to my future family, which I just absolutely love. And then next level, regional vice president, is also the Mercedes-Benz level. So what happens at this level is you're given a cash bonus alongside your commission on top of that to drive a white Mercedes-Benz of your choice. And so this is a great reward, because this business does take effort. So people always say, well, like when you start sharing the averages, that sounds too good to be true. And what's the catch? And I always just say the catch is it takes work. It takes getting out there, talking to people, spreading the word, helping people. So when you get to regional vice president, you've helped quite a lot of people. So you are rewarded with a lovely white shiny Mercedes. And it's also visual proof that the business works. So I am my business, and I don't have a shop that you can see is bustling with customers. So when you rock up in a white Mercedes, your friends kind of take notice and think, oh, this works. And the average income is about 46 grand a year. My friend Hetty was earning anything between £3,000 to £8,000 a month. What would an extra £5 grand a month look like dropping into your bank account? again, like for most people, that means a lot. For me, I'm going to get there in the next few months, and that is going to mean that the freedom to decide, like, I'm not going to teach for other people anymore. Maybe I'll start my own school, or my dream is actually to start my own dance company, to have a mental health charity, to give back to my parents who have really helped me invest in my passion and my career. Just to be able to go on holiday whenever I want, or to be able to, I've just been to Edinburgh to see my family, and I love going up there so much, and my team, and to be able to buy a flat in Edinburgh and be up there like every, once a month. Just these different choices. I think that's the thing to really think, is that when you get to this point where you're earning, on average $5,000 a month, it's the choices that it kind of gives you, and the time and the freedom to live the life you want to live. And on top of the company national vice president, as you can see, the average times to get there, as I said, they're just average. I've taken quite nearly over 4 years to get to regional vice president, but Hetty got to national vice president in 5 years, so you can do it. And someone actually got to regional vice president in 12 weeks. So if you want to go for it, then you can absolutely do that. But yeah, Hetty got to the top, and she's now a national vice president. And I have watched her build it from the bottom up. And so I know that this is true. And I know that all it takes is hard work. It takes tenacity. It takes getting out of your comfort zone, being coachable, as I said earlier. But for her now, she's earning between 10 to 16 grand a month. She's just bought her second property in London. She's 32. She is completely retired from working for anyone else. She works for herself with her Arbonne business and helps other people to do the same. She went to Maui in January. She went to Thailand in November. She's, here, there, and everywhere, like living the most incredible life. So for the short-term sacrifice that she gave for those 5 years of, doing things like this on an evening when you've been working all day, or going out at the weekend to do a presentation, or being on the phone to help people, that short-term sacrifice for the rest of your life kind of off, if you like, from working for other people, for me is just a no-brainer. I just knew that I was going to work hard for other people for the rest of my life, because I'm a hard worker. And I realized that if I wanted to kind of really live the life I wanted to live, I would want to actually work hard for myself rather than build someone else's dreams. So it is there for the taking. And as a national vice president, they get taken to Hawaii every January, so that's why Hetty was there. We're also going to Las Vegas on Monday for our annual conference, which I've been to 3 times already. And as a national vice president, they get their accommodation and their flights paid for. And so the company really value you. And that's something that has been one of my biggest things that I've taken from this, is that in everything else I've done, I'd never felt valued, but they literally give you so much belief and value and self-esteem, because you're the one that's building the brand and building the business. And so they actually want to encourage that, unlike most companies or jobs that want to kind of pull you down. Are you there, Fran?
I mean, I got carried away there. So as we've already touched on, Arbonne is a global opportunity. So currently, we're based in the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, Poland. That's the 5 countries that we're in. So you might know people in those countries. For example, I've Skyped people. I went travelling in Australia for a bit. I've hooked up with some people that I knew over there that I made friends with. You might know somebody you used to go to school with who now lives in the US. You can speak to people that way and grow your business. So what I really loved is that, hold on a minute, if one of my friends decides to buy a product and they're in Australia, I could be effectively earning money in my sleep, which is brilliant. But if you're thinking, oh gosh, I only have friends in the UK, that doesn't matter either, because it doesn't have to be who you know. It can be who you know who knows somebody else who lives in one of those countries. That's what the opportunity that's there with this business. Yes, it's all very exciting that we're in those 5 countries and you can grow your business there if you've got any kind of link. But what's more exciting is the bluey grey there and the little orange dot, which is Taiwan. That's where we're going into later on this year. That's going to open up kind of Asia for us. And as we just it was only fairly recently that we went into Poland as well. That's going to open up Europe for us. So that we're just for being 36 years old, we've got this stability now to be able to grow smart and effectively so that this whole business isn't going to collapse, because we have a great leader in Kay Napier with how she wants to grow us globally. But if you just think how much of the rest of the world there's still to go at, and that's what, when I started this business, I was like, oh great, I can have a business that's based across all the UK and maybe some miles abroad. But like, if you can think for a second, like, this is just, the potential for growth here is just ridiculous. And that's what you can have, like 5-10 years down the line, you can have a business that's in all of the continents across the world, which would be insane that it's possible for this business.
Yeah.
Oh, just me as well.
Sorry.
Excellent. So there's 3 ways that you can benefit from Arbonne. The first way is what I mentioned a little bit about before. So that's by hosting you, and if you just want to support whoever's asked you online to this presentation this evening, you'd like to support them, then you can host an evening for them. You get loads of, you get a free gift, there's loads of benefits available to you, and you'll have a really great evening as well. The second way is through products, so either as a client or preferred client. Now, a client, you just buy the products full price, you have the convenience of getting them shipped direct to your door, so there's that option. Or everyone likes a discount. As a preferred client, you pay £17 and you get at least 20% off everything that you buy. So if you're really interested in the product, especially if you've tried them and you want to kind of really get to grips with them, that's a great way, because you also get reward points. There's certain packs where you get up to 40% off, and to be honest, there's loads of other offers, like flash buy offers. There's at least one a month. Like last month, I think there's about 3. There's at least 2 anyway. That's by the by. It's great to be your preferred client, is really to your benefit if you really want it, basically. The third way is what both me and Hannah have done, is we've become independent consultants. So that's when you're ready to start your business. We paid £56 to start, so that gives our website. We've got a UK-based customer service that's all the shipping taken care of, and all the online and all the bits of training that we've mentioned there, and obviously the support of the person who introduces you. We get 35% off, as I mentioned earlier, everything that we buy and use ourselves. Also, because we share the products with people, I knew when I started that, look, if I'm going to share them, I'm going to have some products to share as well as the one I use it myself. I can't be sharing and using my own, because that's not going to work. So, and obviously, if you want to share with a lot of people and grow your business, you need to invest some money in doing that. Now, it all depends on what your budget is, but a person who introduced you will discuss what the best option is for you. But there are discounted packs available when you first start to really help you with that. Obviously, there's the income opportunity that Hannah's gone into. You can get your Mercedes-Benz. And what I will continue to go on about, and we're both really passionate about, is how you can develop as a person through this business. Yes, it's all well and good to earn extra money, and that's the reason why most of us start this business, because I need the money to get out of debt. I needed the money to do other things. But now it's so much more than that. You can change your life in ways that you just don't expect, and the friends that you make and the fun times that you have. I can't wait for Vegas in a few days. But that's everything you gain from this. It's a lifestyle. It's personal care, yes, but you get in a business education and a personal development education. I will stop rambling now, but that's what you can gain from being a consultant.
Oh, thank you, Franny. I love you. That's brilliant. No, it is. People go, God, you guys are so happy and so excited. Yeah. It's really hard not to be, because there's just so much excitement and opportunity. And I always say to people, if I could put my eyes in your head and you could see what I've seen, you would be as excited as we are, because like when you go to Vegas and you see this year it's 18,000 consultants in the MGM Grand Arena, who, countless people whose lives have been completely transformed by this business, who have then gone on to, do incredible charity work and build orphanages in Africa and all this amazing thing that, I just never thought my life would look like. So, so that's all the information you need to know whether it's something for you or not. And I would just say to yourself, really kind of, if there's something in you that is saying, wow, this is really cool, like you got a feeling, just go with it, because it's probably, your gut telling you that it's the right thing. And that was definitely why I had, but I did have a lot of fear. And I think that's a really good thing to voice, because it's a really normal thing to feel, as if you kind of think, this is really cool, but I'm really scared. And that's why I just asked myself a few questions when I started. I just asked myself, right, I am scared, but could I do it? And I just thought, well, I've learned to do a lot of things in my time. I'm sure I could learn this. I'm sure I could learn a system to be successful with someone holding my hand. I also asked myself, like, did I get it? Like, did I actually understand the business model? And I was like, yes, you wash and talk. Okay, yeah, I get it. I can do that. And also, would it be worth my time? Because I was really busy when I started this. I had about 5 different jobs, and I was also still trying to be a professional dancer, and I had friends and family to see. But I just thought, well, if I could dedicate 5 to 10 hours a week initially, and then maybe more when I have more time, to in 5, 7, 10 years even be earning 10 to 16 grand a month, this is so worth my time, because I know anything else I do will never ever earn me that kind of money. I don't have a business background, you know, there's no way I could get a job that would be that kind of income, and also wouldn't want to, because the hours that you'd have to work to earn that kind of income would be crazy. So Hetty also asked me, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years time if you keep doing what you're doing? And I was in a place where that was looking quite kind of like quite glum. Thought, well, I'm going to be living still in London in a house share with lots of people, not able to pay my rent, in lots of debt, not living the life I want to live. And she just said, like, imagine you were crazy and said yes to this, Han. Like, what could your life look like? Write a list. So I did, and I wrote a list of what if it works and what if it doesn't. And then what if it doesn't was just that I'd have some awesome products that I've invested in to give people to try, that I could then use for a few years or give as presents. Sorted. Amazing. That was the worst thing. What if it did work was literally like, I just started dreaming again. That's why I said in the beginning, I thought, wow, I could buy a house. I could like have a house in London and Edinburgh and somewhere hot. That's like my dream. I could, you know, have a dance company, start mental health charities, start children's charities, give back massively, give back to my family, help people live like the nice lifestyle of going out when I wanted, buying clothes, going to the theatre, all that kind of stuff. And like, I just started writing, and I just thought I would be really actually crazy not to do this. And so for me, it was more a fear of actually not doing it. And so I just thought, right, I'm just going to do this, because I was scared of missing out. And I can honestly say that it's the best decision I've ever made. Because like Fran said, the financial gains are obviously incredible, but what you then also get as a person is just phenomenal. Like, it is like a life course, and it really helps you to find out who you are and what is important to you and where you want to go in your life. And you're surrounded by people who are also doing the same. So there's a great quote that says, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you want to, you know, go places and you want to kind of have a lot, then surround yourself with people who are doing the same. And that is exactly what we have in this business. And now it's become such a passion of mine to help other people do the same, because I see how much of an impact it's made on my life and already on the people that I've introduced and the rest of Team Clark. And so I'm so passionate about going out there and helping even more people, because people need to hear about this, because there's people who are sitting right now at home like dreading getting up for work tomorrow, or, you know, worrying about their bills, or worrying about the fact that they can't take their children on a holiday and all these things. And so I genuinely feel like we have got like such a gift in our hands. Anyway, again, I'm banging on and we're taking a little bit longer as usual. I don't know if you want to say anything, Brien.
Just really seconding everything that you said, really. I had the fear really, really, really badly. I said yes straight away when Sarah told me about it, but I had to battle through my own personal things with how terrified I was of doing anything completely left field of what anyone really expects of businesses these days, and also what I believed in myself. But I think the thing is, if you persevere with that and you go with your gut, but it was a gut decision that I made, and I'm so glad that I stuck with that and have developed as I have through this business, because it's what I've said before. I've gained so much from this personally, and it's really been with my investment of myself as well as my time. So I think even if this isn't something that you ever imagine you would be doing ever in the future, it can either be a vehicle for you or it can be a vehicle for somebody you know, because like I kind of said, there are people looking for this kind of thing. It's going to be a lifeline for somebody with a business that gives that strength, or it can be something you can develop yourself. But thank you very much for coming along, and if whoever's invited you on this, if you'd like to speak to them, if you have any questions or ask us, or you can really ask them to try the product as well.
Yay! Amazing. Yes, thank you so much for getting on live, Gabby, and for everybody who's watching. And I'm just going to stop recording.